Before we begin, let me introduce the team behind today's report. First, we have Nur Fatihah Sofia binti Abu Bakar. Next, Nur Idina Rashikah binti Zariman, followed by Shasa Emira binti Sylvester, then Nur Shafika binti Asnawi, and finally Faziatun Nisa binti Samsudin. Together, this team has worked to analyze Netflix as a global economic case study. Now, let's move on the presentation. Hello everyone, today I will report on how Netflix connect to major global economic change. Netflix started as a DVD by mail service but shift to streaming as a technology advance. Its global reach show how digital product cross-border, but also how companies must deal with the trade rules, censorship and copyright laws. Through international contents like Korean and Europe show, Netflix also demonstrate globalization and culture exchange. Netflix use Industry 4.0 technologies like AI, machine learning, big data, and cloud computing to personalize content and stay competitive. This research focus on three areas like economic theories, global trade factor, and Industry 4.0. So overall, Netflix show how modern companies adapt to global economic shift and shape the digital world.
Thank you, reporter Shafika. I am Shasa and now I will continue with the historical perspective. Classical economists like Adam Smith and David Ricardo supported free markets and international trade. These ideas reflected in how Netflix competes globally and produces content worldwide. But after the Great Depression, Keynesian economies emerged, showing that the government intervention is sometimes necessary. Today, Netflix also benefits from digital regulations and industry support inspired by Keynesian thinking. Major economists still shape the digital era. Smith with the specialization, Ricardo with trade, Keynes with government support, and Schumpeter with creative destruction, which we see as Netflix disrupts traditional media.
For global trend in international trade is global trend in trade. First point is globalization. Netflix in 190 country digital trade grows 10% per year. Internet, AI and big data help share content worldwide. For second point is regional integration. EU and ASEAN make rules easier for digital service, help Netflix expand smoothly across country. And the third point is protectionism. Some countries protect their local culture and content. For example, China, they are block the Netflix for protect their local culture, and France and South Korea require to local content investment for their for protect their local culture in their country. For trade policy, first is open market. Easier for Netflix to expand. Like example, EU hits like Money, Heist and Lupin. For second is emerging market. Tax break and co-production. Netflix invest 175 million in Africa, and protectionist rules like local content quota increase costs. For example, Latin America 20 until 30 for percent for local content. For international organization, WTO, fair trade and rules for digital service, and WIPO protect copyright and prevent piracy. Regional bodies manage data, tax and content rules.
Hi everyone, today I will be presenting my group assignment on Industry Revolution 4.0 and I will explain how these technologies influence the media and entertainment industry with Netflix as the main example. Overview of Industry Revolution 4.0. The Fourth Industrial Revolution or IR 4.0 marked as major milestone in global development. Unlike the early revolution that focused on machine, electricity and computer system, IR 4.0 brings together the physical, digital and biological worlds. The key technology include automation, artificial intelligence, robotics, the Internet of Things, big data and cloud computing. These technologies are not only used in manufacturing but also in the media and entertainment sector, where they completely change how content is created, distributed, and consumed. Netflix is one of the best example of a company that successfully adopted IR 4.0. It started in 1997 as a DVD rental company, but with the growth of internet technology, Netflix shifted to online streaming and eventually become a global entertainment leader. And then Netflix uses AI and machine learning to personalize content for more than 260 million users. The algorithm study what user watch and recommends similar show. It also uses big data analytics to decide which movie or series to produce and to predict future demand. Meanwhile, cloud computing allows Netflix to stream billions of viewing hours monthly in more than 190 countries. In addition, automation and IoT help Netflix adjust video resolution based on internet speed, ensuring a smooth and uninterrupted viewing experience. Benefit of IR 4.0 for Netflix. One major benefit is personalization. With AI, users receive recommendations that match their preference, increasing satisfaction and loyalty. Another benefit is global reach. Thanks to cloud technology, Netflix can release content worldwide instantly. This is why shows like Squid Game can become global hits through subtitle and dubbing. IR 4.0 also support local content creation. Netflix invests in regional production, such as the more than USD 175 million spent in sub-Saharan Africa. This support job creation, cultural exchange, and the growth of local creative industry. Then challenges faced by Netflix. Despite the benefit, Netflix also faced several challenges under IR 4.0. The first challenge is data privacy and cybersecurity. Because Netflix collect user data, it must comply with various regulations such as the EU's and GDPR. Another challenge is cultural and regulatory barriers. Some countries require streaming platforms to invest in local content, which increase operating costs. In places like China, strict censorship laws block Netflix entirely. Lastly, IR 4.0 causes job displacement. In traditional media sector, automation reduces the needs for physical broadcasting and DVD distribution, forcing workers to adapt the new digital skill. Implication for global economic cooperation and competition. IR 4.0 has strong effect on global economic cooperation and competition. International organizations like WTO and WIPO help regulate digital trade and protect intellectual property for global companies like Netflix. Regional policies such as the EU Digital Single Market and Asian Digital Economy Framework make it easier for Netflix to operate across borders. However, competition is increasing as companies like Disney Plus, Amazon Prime Video, and HBO Max also use AI and big data to attract global audience. IR 4.0 also encourage worldwide collaboration. For example, a Netflix series can be written in South Korea, filmed in Spain, edited in the United States, and streamed globally through cloud servers. This shows how interconnected the entertainment industry has become. The last part is conclusion. To conclude, IR 4.0 has transformed Netflix from a small DVD rental company into a global entertainment giant. Technology like AI, IoT, big data, automation, and cloud computing have improved efficiency, personalization, and global reach. At the same time, Netflix must manage challenges such as data privacy issue, regulatory barrier, and rising competition. Overall, IR 4.0 demonstrates how technology and globalization works together to create a more connected and competitive digital world. Thank you.
So next, I will reporting on how Netflix global strategy is shaped by history, trade trends, and the fourth industrial revolution. Over the years, the world has shifted from a traditional production economy to a digital, knowledge-based economy. Netflix grew exactly in this environment, moving away from physical DVDs to online streaming. Global trade trends and globalization also play as a major role. With trade liberalization and support for e-commerce, Netflix can now operate in more than 190 countries, delivering content without facing many physical trade barriers. At the same time, Industry 4.0 technologies such as artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and big data allow Netflix to predict user preferences, personalize recommendations, and strengthen its global streaming infrastructure. In short, Netflix's global success is not an accident. It is the result of historical economic change, open trade systems, and advanced technology working together. Next, we look at the role of international collaboration in Netflix growth. Netflix actively partners with production houses, creators, and governments around the world. Famous examples include Money Heist from Spain, Squid Game and from South Korea, and Lupin from France. This shows proof that local stories can reach global audience through strategic cooperation. Through this collaboration, Netflix not only increase its market share, but also support local industries by hiring local talent and investing in local production. Beyond content, Netflix also works with international tech companies and data experts to develop AI-driven streaming and recommendation system. Content today can be rated in one country, filming in another, and streamed worldwide, showing how Industry 4.0 connects global value chain. Overall, international collaboration has become one of Netflix's key tools to strengthen its position in the global entertainment industry. Now, we turn to demography and geopolitics, and how they influence Netflix operation. As the number of young digital native users grows, particularly in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, Netflix is shifting attention towards these emerging markets. Countries like India, Indonesia, and Nigeria are seen as important sources of new subscribers. To attract them, Netflix offers localized content more affordable subscription plans. However, the company also faces geopolitical challenges. Strict media regulation, censorship, and political tension limit Netflix's presence in certain countries. For instance, China's tight control over foreign media and Russia's removal of Western streaming platforms restrict Netflix's expansion. In addition, global data privacy rules such as European Union's GDPR require Netflix to manage user data carefully and comply with different laws in different regions. Because of this, demographic and geopolitical factors, Netflix must remain flexible, culturally sensitive, and prepared to adjust its strategy for each market. Finally, we examine how the power dynamics between the United States, China, and the European Union shape Netflix's trade and technology strategy. As a company based in the United States, Netflix benefits from strong intellectual property protection, advanced technology, and a culture of innovation. This environment supports Netflix in creating and defending its content worldwide. China, however, presents a more complex picture. It is one of the largest digital markets in the world with strong technological capabilities, but strict censorship laws and support for local platforms like Tencent Video and Iki make it very difficult for Netflix to enter directly. As a result, Netflix mainly relies on indirect cooperation such as licensing content through Chinese studios. In Europe, the European Union has introduced regulations such as Digital Service Act and content quotas that require streaming platforms to invest in European productions and follow strict rules. While it increases costs for Netflix, it almost promotes cultural diversity and fair competition. Overall, the relationship between the US, China, and the EU determines Netflix's access to market, the kind of regulation it must follow, and the way it invests in technology and content. To stay on top, Netflix has to constantly balance cooperation, competition, and compliance within this global power triangle. And in conclusion, this case study showed that Netflix rise from a DVD by mail service to a global streaming powerhouse is driven by economic theory, international trade, and Industry 4.0 technologies. Its success comes from adapting to global regulation using AI and big data and working on creative industry around the world. The findings also highlight that international cooperation and clear digital rules are essential for supporting innovation and cultural growth to the digital economy. Reporting on the global digital landscape, I'm Noshafika. Back to the studio. Thank you.